All right, so for the first time since joining the American Conference back in 2013, the Memphis Tigers are the preseason favorite to win it all this season. Peanut Hardaway's squad has finally, broken the streak of being, picked, to finish second and second, picked to finish second place year after year. And the best part about this is that they're doing it with a completely rebuilt roster, featuring 15 new faces. But they've pretty much rebuilt this roster for the past two seasons. So today we're just gonna break down the big news for the American Conference preseason poll. I know that's right now. That's media day going on in the American the league right now, and Memphis has been picked, to finish first, receiving 11 out of 13 first place votes from league and coaches for the most part. So we're gonna dive into what this means for Penny Hardaway, how Doug McDaniel and Aaron Bradshaw earned preseason honors, and what to expect as the Tigers gear up for another season that's loaded with storylines. So let's start with the headline. Memphis officially the preseason favorite to win the American this season. They received 15. They received 11 first place votes, while South Florida got number two. They're expected to finish second in the league this season. But for the first time, like I said, since 2013, Memphis has been picked to win the conference this season. So last year, they had the good finish. You won the regular season conference tournament, the regular season tournament, and then you run the conference tournament. So I mean, it was pretty much that pretty much put you in the driver's seat to be named the favorite. Now we all know that that doesn't mean anything. Um, just because the coaches and all that picked you, picked this team to win the league, they gotta still go out there and actually get it done. Because last year they picked everybody was picking UAB to win the league, and they got out to a real bad start, and they didn't get things going until they got into conference play, but they just couldn't beat Memphis, you know. So it's a lot that's something to put into consideration as well. But the preseason nod says a lot about where this program stands right now nationally and within the league, because the Tigers, they're no longer the Hunters. They're not 100, even with 15 new faces. The league's coaches, still believe this team has enough talent to repeat as champions. That shows just how much Penny Hardaway has earned after rebuilding this roster from scratch multiple times. He's done it in the last two seasons and has put together some really good teams. The issue has just been, getting past that first round of the NCAA tournament, you know. But two players that stood out in the preseason awards were Doug McDaniel, guard, and big man center Aaron Bradshaw, both named to all conference first team. Memphis was the only program in the league with multiple first team selections. McDaniel, the first transfer guard from Michigan and Kansas State, brings veteran leadership and playmaking at the point guard position. Last year, averaged double figures, um, and has the tempo and the toughness to anchor Penny Hardaway's system, his offense. Then you got Aaron Bradshaw, 7'1" big man who transferred from Ohio State. His combination of length, shot blocking, and his mobility, gives the Tigers the rim presence, they lack at certain times, a lot of times last season. despite the games, the amount of games that they won. So these two are the foundation of what could be the most complete team that Penny Hardaway's ever coached. You know, but now let's look. Talk about the rest of the league. South Florida, um, who the other two first place votes is picked to finish second. Tulane, led by Rowan Brumbaugh, the league's preseason player of the year winner, what a projected one is the third. Is third. UAB, Wichita State, Florida Atlantic round out the next tier of teams expected to compete near the top. Now we're gonna see how it all play out because like I said in the previous video, Tulane, Ron Hunter is I think they're saying Ron Hunter is more willing to invest in NIL. So we'll see how that all play out. And they're saying that South Florida's supposed to have a good team this season. But for the rest of the poll, the rest of the preseason rankings, Tulane coming in at number three. South Florida was at two. Memphis was one. Of course, they had of 143 votes. But at four, you had UAB. Number five, Wichita State. Six, Florida Atlantic. Seven, North Texas. Eight, you had Tulsa. Nine, Temple. 10, East Carolina. 11, UTSA. And 12, Rice. 13, Charlotte. All right. So, this roster is basically, um, new, just like the one last year. Brand new roster, right? 15 newcomers, including several high-profile transfers. Doug McDaniel, Sincere Parker. I know we still have that case going on. It's pending. That's a lot of new pieces to fit together. But if it has anybody that has proven he can do it, it's Penny Hardaway. He has the track record to do that, and he's done it 3 years in a row and still delivered the results. Um, Number two, second, this preseason rankings comes with expectations, and the Tiger fans in college basketball, around the country, we'll be watching closer to see if Memphis can handle being um, the team with the target on his back. But I'm pretty sure that they can do that. I mean, it's nothing. And finally, it's isn't just looking to. It's not just looking to dominate the American. They're looking to make a statement nationally. And after a disappointed, you know, first round tournament loss last year, this group wants to prove they can go deeper in March. So key dates for upcoming. Look like we're gonna be like what a month out from basketball, a couple weeks away from the season starting. But first, you got that exhibition game on not April, my bad, on October 27th, St. John's Tip-Off Classic with you know, John Caliberry's return up to Memphis for the first time since 2009. That's coming up. Then you got the season opener at home against San Francisco, or the big non-conference games. You got Auburn. Well, exhibition game is Auburn. Regular season, Purdue, Baylor, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Utah State. So that's a lot of big games coming up, on the non-conference slate. And it's another loaded slate for the Tigers to strengthen their resume. Um, but the goal has always been clear: dominate early, maintain the consistency, and set yourself up for a run in a higher seed in March. So that's pretty much what you have to do. But I think the combination of the fresh talent, high expectations, um, and the meaningful matchups probably gonna make this team one of the most intriguing of his tenure. So we're gonna wait. We just gotta wait and see how it's all gonna play out, man. But I think you have a good club, man. I think this is a good basketball team, bro. That's what I think. I know every year there seem to be the same questions surrounding Penny Hardaway's team in regards to who will be the top scorer, who will be the next top scorer on this team. And that stuff always figures itself out once the season gets started. You will know who by the first 3 to 5 games of the season. You will know who the top scorer is, who the top rebounder is, who the go getters is. You will know that stuff, you know. But Memphis is projected to win the American Conference this season for the first time since 2013. They are the preseason favorites. That's wild, though. That's how, you know, bad things had gotten for this program prior to Hardaway coming on, but that's no longer the case. So up next, a few weeks from now, exhibition game against Arkansas at FedEx Forum. Then you kick off against San Francisco. So we'll see. That's all I have for y'all for right now. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out.